As we announced yesterday, my investigation has revealed that it was Sergeant Lanson Shipman of the Moss Point Police Department who pulled the trigger not once, but 5 times, according to now 8 eyewitnesses of the shooting that I have spoken to personally. On this morning at 9 a.m., the mother of Mr. Sims and her husband and myself, we met with the mayor of Moss Point. While the mayor announced to us that he was appreciative of our request for him to call a meeting with the Board of Aldermen, he declined to take such action. He suggested to us that we seek 2 aldermen to join together to call the meeting. We took the mayor's advice and attempted to get at least 2 aldermen of the city of Moss Point to call a special call meeting at 5 p.m. today. We were only able to get Alderman Sherwood Radford to sign the notice calling the meeting for 5 p.m. today. The other 6 gentlemen on the Board of Aldermen would not sign the notice calling the special call meeting. Some may call them jellybacks, some may call them spineless, some may call them pansies, but I will not do such. We do know that some individuals have uncles, and some individuals have aunties. But I'm disappointed to find out that there are several Uncle Toms in the city of Moss Point. You have a man that is dead in a city that is 80% African American, and the Uncle Toms in this city did not have the decency to call a meeting, a special call meeting, to deal with something so serious as the death of a 27-year-old African American man. To me, that stinks to high heaven. If you can't get justice in a city that's 80% black, where will you get justice? I'm 42 years old. I spent the first 20 years of my life in this city, and never, not once when I was growing up, did you ever hear of any officer killing an unarmed black man. Why did it have to take 42 years? And why is the first instance a white officer killing a young black man? They've been had problems on the streets of Moss Point, but not one time was it ever mentioned that an unarmed black man was shot by a cop in this city. So why is it happening now? In the age of Trump, in the age of white nationalism, in the age of white supremacy. People, you better wake up and smell the coffee. We are living in dangerous times, and you have elected spineless leaders, as some would call them. I'm not going to call them spineless. I'm not going to call them pansies. I'm not going to call them jellybacks. But those words would be what some would call these individuals for not taking a stand. We simply asked you to call a dog-owned meeting, and you couldn't do that. You're not worth the taxpayers' dollars. Yes, I'm upset. Yes, I am angry. I'm so glad I left this city in 1997, and you can rest assured you'll never get me back here to pay a tax dollar to anybody so derelict. I wouldn't spend my money here for nothing. I wish my family could leave and pack their bags up today and go back with me to Grenada, but they have a spine. That's why you're losing population down here. Absolutely. That's why your school system is subpar. You don't have any good leadership. Where there is no vision, where there is a lack of vision, of people perish. This man has perished.
That's right. That's the word.
I sent a notice of claim on the day to the city of Moss Point, letting them know that we have a claim against the city for the death of Diamond Sims. And I gave them the floor of that demand. The floor of the demand in that letter is $10 million. We are demanding at least $10 million from the city of Moss Point for the death of Diamond Sims. I also sent a preservation of evidence letter to the mayor and to the city clerk and to the police chief. I want all of the evidence preserved, and we put them on notice of that. I want every body cam, every dash cam, every incident report, every photo, every piece of evidence. I want it preserved. And I dog dare you. I double dog dare you to destroy any evidence.
They probably got to be working.
Destroy it if you want to. I have righteous indignation. People that I trusted to do the right thing. Nobody stabs me in the back and smiles in my face and gets away with it. Nobody. I sent a public records request demanding to see the video. I've spoken with the head MBI agent, Agent Smith, on the day, asked him point blank to see the video. This man had the audacity to tell me the officer and his attorney got to see the video on Friday before he interviewed the man in due course of his investigation. He says it was improperly done, but he was there when the officer and his attorney reviewed the video, and the head investigator for the district attorney's office was there when they reviewed the body cam footage.
As an excuse,
I asked to have the same courtesy. I'm an officer of the court. I represent the family, and I should have been given the same courtesy. And if you wanted to do right, you would have shown both attorneys the video at the same time. Now the chain of custody has been messed up. I can't trust anything. They didn't have access to it before I did. Not at the same time. That is unjust. So the MBI agent said he couldn't let me see it, even though they've already allowed the officer's attorney to see it. He told me I would have to go to the district attorney. So I talked to her shortly after 4 p.m. today. That's why I was late, talking to Angel like ill rap. And she made me upset too. She told me she couldn't let me see the video. Your own head investigator sat there and let the officer's attorney and the officer review the video, but you're going to tell me you can't let me see it because you got to now obey your professional responsibility, your professional duties. Now you want to obey your professional duties. She is the head district attorney, and she's responsible for what her subordinates do. If he broke the rules, she broke the rules. I'm the managing partner of the Cochran firm, Mississippi Delta there in Grenada. If my staff break the rules, I've broken the rules. I'm the one who has the license. Angel has the license. So if he's broken the rule, she's already broken it, and the bar needs to know about it.
That's right.
And the General Counsel of the Mississippi Bar, if you're listening, I'm letting you know that they have broken the rules. And we want fair treatment. It is time out for games. I'm so sick of white supremacy. I'm so sick of it. Every individual I'm talking to, basically, in law enforcement has been white individuals, has put up one roadblock after the other. And that bears another point. Why do you have a white police chief in an 80% black city?
Hey.
I just don't believe Keith Davis would have acted like this. I don't believe Keith Davis would have went to the public when he was not investigating the crime and told them this man had a gun. The only person I've heard say the man had a gun in law enforcement is your chief of police, Brandon Ashley. That stinks to high heaven. Agent Smith is the head of this investigation. He should have been the one to give us a report as an independent investigator. That didn't happen. Why not? And if you're so convinced the video exonerates the city of Morris Point, why has there been roadblock after roadblock? I have my bags packed, ready to go back to Grenada and see my wife and my daughter. But no, they won't show the video. So now I got to spend another night here in this old city that stinks when I come over the bridge. It stinks, yeah, it stinks. You know it stinks if you lived here for any amount of time. It smells horrible when you come in here.
Oh, yeah.
I got to spend another night here. We're meeting with the DA in the morning. She's offered to meet with me, the mother and her husband, and the father and his wife to let them know the judicial process. I wish she would show the video tomorrow. She want to do all this other stuff. Want to tell us the process and how she wants to get justice. Now you want to get justice. Now you want to be fair. Show the video. My bags are packed. If the video shows that he killed somebody or tried to kill somebody, had brandished a gun, I'll pack my bags and get on back to Grenada so fast.
Right.
But otherwise, I have no choice but to believe those 8 eyewitnesses that saw this murder, that saw this boy shot in the back several times. That's the evidence I have to go by, because those are the folks that have spoken to me. They range in age from 19 to 68. Some black, some white, some young, some old, some male and some female. Some know the victim and some don't. So you tell me how all these individuals without fail have said the same thing. I believe them. Yeah, I believe them. And if there is video, it's going to show exactly what they said. And that's why they won't produce it. Because I've seen time and time again, when the video exonerates the city, no matter what the policy is, no matter what investigation is going on, they will show the public the video. They will show it to the public. And they sure will show it to the family and their attorney sooner than later. I've seen it done on the same day. I've seen it done on the next day. I gave them 48 hours before I drove my happy self down here 300 miles. I don't have time to waste. I got 200 other clients I could be working on in Grenada. But no, I'm down here facing roadblock after roadblock with somebody that killed an innocent man. Because you innocent until proven guilty.
That's right.
I don't care what you were chasing him for. What I do know, you wasn't expecting him to be an armed and dangerous felon. Some domestic violence warrants from months ago that you just now thought you could arrest him on. Something for fleeing the police months ago, and you go through a high-speed chase. They could have killed my nephew, my nieces in this city, in neighborhoods going 80 to 90 miles per hour. For what? People have lost their natural minds. Have lost their natural minds.
That's right.
But you about to get some bout sense. You're about to get some bout sense to city of Morris Point. When my parents raised me, and I act like I couldn't understand, they helped me understand. And that's why I'm the man I am today. Because they gave me something that made me understand and remember how to act right. When we done, oh yeah, you're going to know how to act. Because we're going to teach you a lesson. You've messed with the wrong one. You think you can do anything to black people and they just going to go on about it? You thought he was a piece of dirt? They didn't have anybody of prestige in the family. Oh, behold, I don't have the same last name, but yeah, we got the same blood. And I just happen to be a judge, and I just happen to be an attorney. And I have just happened to be well decorated. I've held about every office you can think of, and got about every award you can think of. The first African American, named Outstanding Young Lawyer of Mississippi in 2008. They gave that award for 26 years and gave it to white people. I was the first African American to get the award. The first from Mississippi to be named the National Young Lawyer of the Year in 2012. A White House Fellows National Finalist. Oh, you're not playing with anybody. The Cochran firm asked me to join their firm as a managing partner. I didn't ask them. So we're here to get some justice.
All right. All right.
So we sent the public records request, we sent the preservation of evidence letter, and we sent the notice of claim. The Cochran firm has recovered over $35 billion with the B for our clients throughout this country. And we're going to get justice for these individuals. Last night, after our press conference, I spoke with the 8th individual that saw the killing. This lady is 60 years old, 68 years of age. She works at a bank, has no reason to lie. What she described to me was even more horrendous than the rest of the 7 individuals that saw the shooting. She described to me a plain execution. She had the best vantage point of all the witnesses. She was right there. She told me that the officer shot the individual one time, the individual fell, hit the ground with no movement. To add insult to injury, she says the officer then walked to the feet of the individual and unloaded his weapon 4 more times.
That's why.
4 more times.
That's why they don't want to show the tape.
4 more
That's
times.
why they don't want to show the
And
tape.
she has nightmares to this day.
That's why they don't want to show that tape.
She told me that in no uncertain terms.
Murder.
Cold-blooded murder. Execution in Mississippi. In Morrisville, Mississippi, and right in front of her. She went to the police department that very same night
Look at the mail.
and gave them the information.
And you got your mail running behind the car right now.
She
Your
went
mail-
to the police
your mail
department.
ain't talk to you about it.
He almost
Line
out
You
your
doing
here.
the
ass.
right thing walking in
He almost
that door.
out here too.
You
We
doing
finna
the
vote
right
him out
thing
here.
walking in
We
that
gonna
door.
be here next
Stay
year.
calm, people, please. I know it's hard.
Come back, Tom.
She went to the police department that night and gave her report. She says that she was interviewed and there's audio and video of her report. The suspicious thing is when I talked to Agent Smith about this lady, gave him her name. He told me he had never heard of the lady. This is the lady that witnessed execution, went to the police department that night and gave it to them before MBI took over. Evidently, Morris Point has not told them about it. I gave the MBI agent her name and number today and her place of employment. Morris Point, it's time out for games. You have been caught with your hand in the cookie jar. You have been caught with your hand in the cookie jar.
All of us put around in that.
I'm nobody's fool. Nobody's fool. You're gonna soon find out. So we will go meet with the DA tomorrow at 9 o'clock and let her tell the process. We will let her know that we will not rest until this man is arrested, indicted, and prosecuted for nothing less than first-degree murder.
All right.
Nothing less than first-degree murder. We have an eyewitness that saw the gun being planted after the fact. He's going to come forward now. Pastor Anton Jackson, come tell the public what you saw on that day.
Well,
30-year pastor.
good afternoon, everybody. I'm Pastor Anton Jackson. Of course, I was there not much longer after. I don't know how long ago before the incident happened. But anyway, during the time, and I'm about righteousness. I'm about righteousness. Man of God, I believe in speaking the truth, regardless who it is. I'm a man of God, and I don't sugarcoat anything. What I saw with my own eyes, I got it on my video, on my cell phone, my video, okay? And that's something that I don't do. That's just not my cup of tea. I just so happened to get my phone out and I started doing some, recording some things. And during the process, and I'm recording, talking, and I noticed one of the officers, cop, I don't know what it was, but anyway, I saw, I'm not familiar with guns and all that kind of stuff, because I call it 238, Acts 238. That's the only gun that I have. That's the word of God, Jesus Christ. But anyway, I saw the officer, I got it on my camera. You understand what I'm saying? I saw where he had the gun, I call it a pistol, whatever you want to call it, a Uzi or whatever, I'm not familiar with it. But I told the young fella next to me, I said, look, I said, putting the gun, he got the gun, he looked like he landed on side, he putting it on side of the body there. Now I saw this, I got it on tape, okay? Now that's what I saw. I only tell you what I saw with my own eye. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I said to the individual next to me. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all I have to say, and I say this here. I'm a firm believer in justice. I'm a firm believer in righteousness. It's about right. God's righteous, not man righteous. God's righteous. All right. And I'm speaking the truth. I don't lie. Okay. The word of God tells us that we shouldn't lie.
That's right.
God hate a lie. He said a lie you won't even tear in his side. So I speak the truth, nothing but the truth. That's all. And I got it on right here in my pocket. Okay. God bless you, and pray God that justice will be carried out.
The word of God tells us that everything be established with 2 or 3 witnesses. Why one of you 8 eyewitnesses to the truth? If it's good enough for God, it's good enough for me. If it's good enough for God, it's good enough for me. If it's good enough for God, it's good enough for me.
Amen.
If it don't add up,
Don't make sense.
Hey, sir.
So at this time, we're going to take questions from members of the media. If there's anyone that has questions, we're happy to answer all of your questions. We don't have anything to hide. We are simply here for the truth, and the truth will carry the day. Any questions? Continue to pray for this family. I will meet with the DA tomorrow on this case, and then I have to fly to Atlanta tomorrow afternoon. We're filing a lawsuit in Atlanta for someone that was shot by cops in Atlanta, Georgia. I was asked to come in on that case. This man is paralyzed. He's a quadriplegic. And so we don't just fight cases in Mississippi. We fight cases wherever we need to go. So I go take care of that. That lawsuit will be filed in Atlanta, and then we will come back down here to seek justice for Diamond Sims. This is not only a Morris Point problem, Mississippi problem, it's a national problem.
Yes, it
Black
is.
men continue to be gunned down like deer. They continue to be gunned down like deer. But if I have to travel from Atlanta to Los Angeles to New York, we will go wherever we're called to serve and seek justice for our people. I'm a young black man. I have a black daughter. One day I'll have a black son, probably. And Lord, I hope I never have to experience what my first cousin has experienced. Because you see how passionate I am about my cousin and how passionate I am about others. If you should ever take my child, it's going to take heaven and earth to hold me down. We're going to move heaven and earth. I don't play. We're going to get justice for this family. Thank you for coming.
All right, that's all right.